There's no defending ownership's record here. None. There's no defending it. They have not been a successfully, from a business perspective, I'm sure that you could point out a lot of positives.
Sure.
From a football perspective, they have failed as a football franchise.
Yeah, Mark Potash tweeted it. You know me, I've been pounding my fist saying it starts at the top for years. That's no coincidence. He wrote, it starts at the top. Since George McCaskey became the Bears chairman in 2011, the Bears have fired 3 general managers, 5 head coaches, 3 OCs. In 14 seasons, they have 2 winning seasons. So only 2 winning seasons in 14 that he's been running. 2 playoff berths, 0 playoff wins, and a 93-130 record to show for it. So, ... Like, and that's the thing. Until they start doing business differently at the top,
It's not going to change.
and I was hopeful with Kevin Warren. But again, and there are some people who are still arguing that the press conference didn't mean anything or arguing what may have happened. All you had to do was hit the pause button. That's all. You didn't, there was no, you just say, we're not, even if you hadn't made your decision yet, even if you were still deciding the semantics of how it was going to go down, who the new coach was going to be, you knew what road you were going down.
Did they?
And if they didn't, shame on them too. That's another thing.
Well, I don't know how you could come to the conclusion.
There's no right answer. So you just say, let's pause all of it. Let's just hold. Hey, for lack of a better term, let's call a timeout. Let's call a timeout here.
Good. That's good.
Like you like to say, I'm going to use my 20. I'm going to use a full.
Make it a full.
No, make it a full.
You guys actually had a timeout to
you
call.
You have one.
Yeah. You kept your timeout from yesterday. Let's call it today for the press conference. We're going to take a full timeout, and we'll let you know when the next press conference is on.
They can't help themselves.
And that's it. That's all you have to do. Yeah. No explanation needed. You don't need to run that out there.
And I think that Kevin Warren and or Ryan Poles, and I would expect them both, and you know what, George should have been there as well, based on them doing something that they had never done before, and knowing that once you get to Monday, you have turned the page on this, and you're now preparing for the 49ers. They should have met the media and answered all of the questions.
Yes.
The fact that you decided to run your coach out there at 9 a.m. makes that situation even more imperative.
Yes.
You should have run him out there regardless. But the fact that, once again, you did something that doesn't smell or look right would necessitate that management should be out there answering questions even more so.
Yeah, and then now Monday, you're going to want to turn the page with Thomas Brown. You're not going to want to talk about Matt Eberflus if you hold a press conference, because now now they may say
Friday dump.
Get it over with today.
Yes, this is a Friday news dump. Do you really? Maybe they will, but at that point, I think that the whole team needs to turn the page
and you're
on
carrying
Monday.
over the stink.
Now you're bringing it back, and now you're going to have to answer all these questions. You could have
So again,
done
there's
it
no
today.
win there either.
No.
You're either not talking or you're doing it too late.
Should have done it today. Why wouldn't you have done it today?
The only thing the only reason Ryan Poles, in my theory, didn't do it today is maybe he doesn't have the power to hire the next head coach.
Well, then Kevin Warren should have stepped in front of the camera, or George McCaskey should have stood next to him.
Maybe he doesn't want to answer questions. If Kevin Warren goes to the podium, he's asked, why isn't Ryan here? You know, Ryan's in charge of your football operations. They always talk about that. The top level of football ops is Ryan Poles. And then if they're undecided, I'm not saying they've decided on Ryan Poles. Maybe they're undecided on Ryan Poles. And they don't want him to go out there and answer questions about, hey, Ryan, what are you looking for in your next head coach? Is this on? Because the questions are obvious. Is this a true audition for Thomas Brown? Is he interim, or is he really getting an audition to be your head coach next year?
Okay, you can circumvent having to answer any of those questions by saying we're talking about today and the reason why we let Matt Eberflus go. And what we do going forward, we will meet about that. You don't have to answer those questions specifically. You can dodge those.
I mean, come on, you just fired your coach.
Right. I'm not going to tell you who my next coach is. I got 6 games left.
No, but what is the search going to entail? Are you going to start talking to guys who are free agents now?
We'll talk about that when the season is over. Right now, we have elevated Thomas Brown to head coach, and we're looking to beat the San Francisco 49ers. I'm just giving you an answer that would have allowed them to still meet the media instead. That would have been better.
They chose the worst
That
route.
would have been better to sit there, and if you ask those questions, which are good questions, what is your head coaching search going to look like going forward? We'll get to that at the end of the season. Well, are you going to start interviewing people now? We'll get to that at the end of the season. But in the meantime, for a lot of reasons, you should have been there today to answer questions.
Like the White Sox were more buttoned up than the Bears were. When Chris Getz fired Pedro, he at least said, here's our interim. We're looking for a guy with experience. We're going to get this done at our pace. We're going to go out and talk to guys on other teams. Like they at least they had answers. I'm not saying the White Sox are going to get it right, believe me. But at least they had a true plan. What is the Bears' plan now?
I don't like our team.
I'm confident that I'll be working on to San Francisco and getting ready for that game.
I think it would have shown some institutional control if you at least would have shown your faces today.
Yes.
Even if you declined to answer all of the questions, it would have been a better show for the franchise than to do it the way they did, issuing a news release.
I don't want to go all cap on you, but I thought Ryan Poles was better than that. I really did.